Steve, you know what today is?
Yes, Jeff. Hang on. It is there's 13 shopping days left for Valentine's Day.
That is correct.
It's February for
Yeah,
I
yeah.
don't
All
know. What
valid,
what
all valid answers. These are all
what
valid answers.
what is
Most,
it, Jeff?
most importantly, it's another episode of the Steel Target Paint Podcast. How you doing, Steve?
I'm doing fantastic, sir. How are you doing this fine Thursday?
I'm great. I've had 4 days of teaching this week, which has been phenomenal. Had
Sweet.
a lot of students this week. Got a lot of students next week, and then the week after is the week before the West Florida match, and it's even getting bigger. I've got people coming out of the woodwork that are coming into town that want to do a little training before the match, which is really cool. I'm excited for it.
That's awesome, and that's a good reminder because I got to book my hotel room. If not, I'm
Yes.
going to be staying in your basement time.
Well, we got a pond and a pool. Pond would
Hey,
be good for
Jeff,
you.
you know what I could do?
What's that?
I could put a tent out at your home range. Oh, that's right. You don't have one. Oh,
Well,
oh,
technically,
so,
I don't have a home
oh my
range. I
God.
guess you could put a tent at the range, but you'd have to fight off the giant raccoon that lives on the range and dumps over our garbage cans every night looking for scraps.
Hey,
But
you know. All
so,
right, Jeff, we got a couple days left. What's going on? What's significant here? What are we talking about?
well, today is February 1st, and we've got in just 2 days, February 3rd, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, general registration for the World Speed Shooting Championships is going to open up.
Dang, that's boy, that come around pretty quick.
Yeah,
Um,
it's
fun,
exciting.
fun, fun fact though, fun fact,
Yep.
because we did a podcast and Steve also reached out and thanked us on the Steel Target Paint podcast Facebook group. So if you're not a member, I encourage you to like that. And he said, "Oh shoot, man, I almost said something else, Jeff. That would have been bad." He said, "Oh shoot, we got a pre-registration code because his son Hunter, which is absolutely amazing. Congratulations, Hunter. He's on Team Tandem Cross. I think that's public knowledge. If not, oopsie. But I think it is. I think so. Yeah, I think so. Okay. Anyway, but he was awarded a slot at Area 6. And did you know that you don't register prior to Sunday night, or I'm sorry, Saturday night, which is the third, not Sunday, Saturday night, which is the third, your pre-registration code does not work. So you don't have a slot. So if you did get awarded a slot, go back through your junk mail and make sure that you don't have an email. I think they came from Zach, not sure. Can't remember. But you're going to want to make sure right after, maybe even while you're listening to this, pause this episode and get your pre-registration in because it's going to be crazy like the last
That's
5 years.
absolutely true. I think the slot policy is going to alleviate the complete psychosis. I think it'll only be partial psychosis for registering. I
I,
know the organization. I was talking with Zach earlier today, and he's getting ready to keep an eye on it and make sure he can answer any questions, because there's always people that'll text him or email him and say, what's going on, how is this working, what do I do? And so hopefully it's going to fill up. I've seen no reason why it wouldn't. There's a lot of shooters that still have a lot of guns. I plan on registering at least one gun during the process, so I can get my fourth gun in. And it's gonna. I've already set a timer for 7:59 at Saturday to remind me to get my butt in front of the computer. That might even be too late. It probably should be like 7:49. So.
well, I'm gonna flex for just a moment. I think I'm only gonna shoot 3 guns, and I got all 3 guns registered.
All right. All
I
right.
know. I feel so much more calm and relaxed about this registration than I have since 2017 when I was out in California.
I tell you, it's a testament to Zach and the organization on what they do for the World Speed Shooting Championships and the CMP and everybody that helps out. You know, great ROs. The staff is phenomenal. You know, they've got the score logging set up, so you immediately get an email when you hit approve. An email comes to you. So for those of you that didn't know, that's how it works. And I'll let you know a little secret too. If you happen to use Practice Score Competitor, you can actually pull your scores up through Practice Score Competitor and any scores that have been
Nice.
uploaded. Now, there is a little anomaly, and it's just the way it works, is that when it pulls it from the score logging, it takes your actual time. And then it does a little math that just makes every string the average string for that stage.
Okay.
So
Okay.
for those that have that do use that opportunity, realize that your splits are, you know, your splits aren't going to be shown, and your actual string times are not going to be shown, but the proper final time will be, you know, should be shown from my experience. So keep that in mind, because I've actually experienced that, and you know, did a little research and realized, well, that's why it's coming from the score log. It's not actually posted. And of course, Zach, once he gets the, you know, the flight is done, he gets it all coordinated and gets it uploaded, and then all of the full amount of data is there, so you'll be able to refresh and see that. But I am very much looking forward to this year's. It's going to be another exciting year at the CMP. A little later in the year, I think it's going to be perfect weather. And of course, I'm wait, now I'll get screwed. It'll rain, but I'm keeping my fingers crossed.
It's like the no hitter, Jeff. You don't talk about it. You don't talk about it. So when it rains, I give everybody permission to give you a hard time.
Well, I let's face it, Steve. I think everybody realizes that they already have permission to give me a hard time. It's because it's looking
Eh,
good.
you're not wrong, sir. You're not wrong. I wonder if there's going to be any special stickers this year. Maybe we need to.
Hmm.
Let me think.
Hmm.
Well,
I
I
don't
got.
I don't know. I seriously thought about making one. I did not do this, but I thought about making one that says Steve may have a home range, but I'm retired.
Hey, I think that's pretty valid. I think that's pretty valid. Valid. I like it. I like it.
So I do want to I promise to try to remember, and I'm looking at the text right now from our friend Chris Stewart. And
Yes, Chris.
he asked us to mention this on the podcast, to remember in that starting this Saturday up through the WSSC, all level 1 and 2 matches will be on the main bays at the CMP with the exact footprint that'll be run at the WSSC.
Home
So
field advantage. I like it. I
yep,
like it.
for those in Alabama, or those that want to travel to the CMP in Alabama to shoot a match, you're going to be on the main bays, and they've got a lot of matches coming up. I mean, we talked
They
about the
do.
matches coming up a couple podcasts ago, and we'll refresh those in everybody's minds. But you know, it's great to see. You know, first year in what I can remember since area matches started, that every area is going to have an area match. It's huge.
I love it. I love it.
Huge.
Oh,
It's
oh,
amazing.
I heard a rumor though. There is the Alabama State Steel Challenge Championship match that's going to be there in April. Is that right? Is that right?
Let's here, hold on a second, Steve. Let me go to the web page that I've already got opened up here. As I
Okay. Well,
scroll through here,
while you look at that, our
yeah,
friends at
keep going.
Rimfire Challenge have an Alabama State match, which I think it's been. I'd have to look back at the history books because Jeff. Fun fact: I'm just not a Steel Challenge historian. I'm now a Rimfire Challenge historian.
All right, I love it. I
Yeah,
love
yeah,
it. We
yeah.
love
It
the
goes back
Rimfire
8 years.
Challenge.
The first major match Rimfire Challenge that I shot was at Cavern Cove at the 2016, I think it was. Pretty sure 2016 Alabama State Steel Challenge Championship, and met some amazing people, good friends. Billy Striplin. I met with him and his daughter on a squad, and Kane Wolf with Tandem Cross. Met the Tandem Cross folks. That was my introduction to Rimfire Challenge, and they were lucky for me to squad with them. Jeff, you can tell them I said that, but it but it was amazing. It was an
They did
amazing
not know they
match.
were squatting with a future legend.
No, they didn't. They didn't. But no, I was really, man. I was a new guy. Had my shirt, just a regular polo shirt and shorts on, and everybody's wearing jerseys. I was like, oh, what have I done? But
Well,
yeah,
it's funny.
fond memories there.
It's funny, Steve, because one of my guys, the guy I trained today, he was asking me, he was like, hey, what does it take to get a sponsorship? I said, I have the perfect thing for you to listen to. I said, go to the Steel Target Paint podcast, and we've covered that in at least 2 different podcasts on what it takes to be a sponsored shooter and what your expectations should be and what manufacturers' expectations, your sponsors are expecting of you. And so, there's a lot of history that we've gone over the years. I mean, I was going back. We're coming up, Steve, do you realize we're coming up on 100 episodes?
I can't believe you've been me putting up with you that long, to be honest with you.
I'll let you know the secret, Steve. It's longer than both of my ex-wives. So
I'm not sure how I feel about that, Jeff. No, I feel honored.
yeah, and for the community, Steve and I are mulling over some ideas of trying to do something special for the 100th. Don't know what it is yet. We've got some ideas running back and forth. But keep listening, and we will let you know what we're going to do, because I was going through the list the other day and just going through the people that we have talked to and the topics that we've covered. And, we started this podcast just for a love of the sport. I remember us talking, and it's like, we got to do something, but we got to have fun. And that's the one thing I always love. When you call me or I call you and say, hey, we got to get one done, it's like, okay, when? It's, the only reason why we've taken breaks is due to some different issues outside of the shooting sports. But when we have the time, we make the time, because it's just fun. And I totally enjoy doing this with you, because we're of the same mindset. We both want people to get better, but you're going to get better by being at the range, by taking a class, by practicing. You might be able to get a tip or two here or there from us, and that's great. We're happy if that helps. We had the podcast last week, Coach's Corner, and we talked about some stuff there that people can use, but listening to it isn't enough. You got to get out there and ring some steel. And,
yep. In the other part, Jeff, though, I think as we were reflecting about who we've had on the podcast, it's also to help promote the sport too, like what we're doing tonight. It's to provide information to people that not everybody reads emails, not everybody reads the board minutes of Steel Challenge, not everybody ABC 123, and it's just to get some reminders out about some of the matches, like what you did for our friend Chris Stewart. Runs a great match, but to help promote the sports and help promote the matches, and that's the part that I like about it as well.
Absolutely. Well, to answer your original question, I have the answer here. The first weekend in April 5th through April 7th, will be the Alabama Speed Shooting Championships presented by TACOM at the CMP in Talladega, Alabama. And, I'm just going to go down the line again to quickly to help everybody realize the kind of matches that are going on. So, of course, near and dear to my heart, coming up here in 2 weekends, West Florida Steel Challenge Championships kicking off the season down here in Clearwater, Florida. There's still, I think, 2 open registration slots available on Saturday. It's been a fantastic match. We're at 263 guns right now, which is the current record. And I can't wait to see everybody. And, we've got a great shirt design If you're interested in getting a shirt for the match, please go to Zero Sports. Ray and team helped put together a fantastic shirt, and we've got some great awards put together by my friend Tyler Martinez, and I am blanking on the company name, but I will get that before the end of the podcast.
See,
But
that's what happens when you're. I almost said old, but I meant retired.
you know what? Both in my case, both fit. Okay, I mean, let's face it. I relish in the fact that I'm still able to shoot well as an old guy. So um yeah, it's bjtrophies.com. Or bjtrophy.com is the website, and BJ Trophy is the trophy provider. And I think everybody realizes that this is not a match where I try to get prizes, but I do have some prizes. Hunter's HD Gold is going to be there, and Brian already sent me his. Uh, I've got some certificates from him. I've got some stuff from rangestore.net. Larry came through. Not only we're shooting the best paint in the market for this game, but we've also got some certificates for stuff at Range Store. I know one year at another match, I won one of those, and I loaded up on knuckle towels because I love the knuckle towels.
The knuckle towels. Oh my goodness! I've got the tubs, not the individual ones, but because of Cerakoting and all that kind of jazz.
Sure.
I got a couple of the tubs in the shop, and those things are amazing.
You know
Amazing.
what? Everybody at the range was like, "Oh, I got a little paint on my shirt or my pants or my whatever." And I'm like, "Hold on, give me a second. Go to the van, get an individual knuckle towel, give it to him. I say, trust me, this will work." And it gets the paint out, and without tearing up the fabric, and they work great. And of course, you've been to the WAC. It's a dusty place. You're constantly wanting to wipe your hands if you want to keep your hands clean, and they're just fantastic for that.
Yep. Yep.
And
Yep.
and of course, for those that have been there, we run Showdown. What on our official name of the bay is the multi-purpose bay. I have subtitled it the Mosquito Bay, because I believe that every mosquito born in the U.S. Is actually born on that bay. And we've got some
Oh yeah.
plans. We're going to get some citronella candles out there, but I also get the rangestore.net spray. I use that
Yep.
personally, and it does a great job at keeping the mosquitoes down. But for those that are coming down to the match, even though it's going to be in February, I highly recommend you bring some mosquito spray. Like I said, we're going to do our best to curtail any mosquitoes we have, and we'll be during the day, so it won't be too bad. It's so funny, Steve. The other night I was training all day. Started at 2, had a 2, a 4, and a 5:30, and everything was great. And then about 6:15 at the end of the 5:30 training session, the sun finally set, and I think I heard a mosquito dinner bell get rung because they came out of, I don't know where they came from, but there was like thousands, well, okay, maybe I'm being a little facetious here, but there was a
But
lot of mosquitoes on the bay. So be
hey, no more
prepared.
than what was that, the 2018 South Carolina State Steel Challenge Championship, and people are wondering why. If you see one of those shirts, and I think it's from 18 or 19 from South Carolina, and there's a mosquito with a
Yep.
stop sign, a little X through it. Yeah, that's a long story. So what's the weather like right now, Jeff? What's the weather down
It's
there? 70s?
it's not 70s. No, we might reach 70 during the day, but in fact, it was funny because, as I said yesterday, I was there all
Okay.
day, and at 2 in the afternoon, I went out with long pants and a long sleeve shirt on, and shooting shirt over the top, and I was like, man, I'm kind of hot. And by the end of my 6:30 class, I not only did not change, but I had my steel target paint hoodie on and a fleece over that. It changed really fast. So
Dang, son, dang.
Yeah, during the day, I think I think it's going to be the weather where it's going to be comfortable in shorts or long pants, either one. Which I think is the perfect shooting weather.
Okay.
Probably in a nice, probably right in the 60s. Um, might reach 70s. But it's again during the day it's quite comfortable. And of course, we're running the Speed 6. So they run pretty efficiently with the crew that I've got where, first shots are at 9, we'll be done by noon, have some lunch. Afternoon session starts at 1, we're done by 4. And we'll do that Saturday. And then, of
I
course,
like it.
Sunday will be a 9 o'clock start. And then right after awards or right after the match, my stats guy, John Beach, will have the scores posted and we'll get right into awards while eating some lunch.
Awesome. I like it. I like
Yep.
it.
So here to quickly go over
All right.
again
It
the
was
first
good.
couple. Go ahead. You there?
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
I
Go
was
ahead.
going to say just to go
Yep.
over the matches that are coming up. So start with West Florida. Then we've got the U.S. Steel Nationals in Volusia. That's going to be March 15th through the 18th. We already mentioned the Alabama Championships, April 5th through the 7th. Area 4, which is going to be April 6th through and April 7th out in Corpus Christi, Texas. Then you've got the Tennessee State Steel Challenge Championships, April 13th in Per Year, Tennessee.
Dang.
Area 3 Steel Challenge Championships, April 19th through the 21st in DeSoto, Kansas. Empire State Steel Championships, that's going to be April 26th and 20 through the 28th at Greenfield Center, New York. Then we've got back at the CMP for a major, we've got the 80th Gate Race to the Worlds. Again, that's going to be presented by Team Match Tracker, and that's going to be May 5th, Talladega. Pennsylvania State Steel Championships, April 17th through the 19th in Fleetwood, Pennsylvania. Now that's all those matches. Okay, I just mentioned 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 matches before the World Speed Shooting Championships. So if you need
Jeez.
a tune-up, you got a lot of matches you can major matches you can go to get that tune-up. But then World Speed Shooting Championships, and I'm going to give you the proper name. It's the Ruger World Speed Shooting Championships presented by Vortex Optics. It's going to be at the CMP in Talladega, Alabama. That's going to be May 29th through June 2nd. And then the week right after that, where I'm also going to be, is going to be the 2024 TACCOM Area 5 Championships, which is going to be June 7th through the 9th in Terre Haute, Indiana. So that's the first 6 months of the year, and that's a lot of majors. Not to mention all of the locals that are still going to be going on. It's phenomenal.
Yeah, there's. Whew. Okay, now I don't have anxiety about signing up for the World Speed Shoot. I have anxiety about figuring out my match schedule for the next 3 months.
See, here's my problem is that I look at it and I go, okay, Pennsylvania, I'd love to go up. I'm sure, I think that's Kurt Omensetter's match. In fact, I know it's Kurt Omensetter's match, and I would love to go up there. He supports the West Florida, and I'm retired, and I would love to get up there, but that's a long drive. God love him for coming down here and shooting my match, but that's a long drive. And I would love to get back into New York State, where I was born and raised, and shoot the Empire State Steel Championships. But I just don't think I'm going to be able to make that. But looking at this list of matches, and there's some coming on later in the year, and I don't know when Rimfire Worlds are, but I shot one Rimfire Challenge match up in Hernando, had some fun, but really started focusing on Steel Challenge. But I started a 2-gun match where
I saw that. I saw that.
Yep, my match includes centerfire guns. So you've got the standard, what I call rimfire optic and rimfire iron, which would be what I believe the Rimfire Challenge calls limited and optic. Is that correct?
Yes, limited and open, I think
Limited
is,
and open.
but
Okay. Thank
fair
you for
enough.
that. Yep. Well, I've added the ability for the centerfire guns. So you could shoot PCCI and an iron sight centerfire pistol, or PCCO and an optic pistol. And in line with the low ready of rimfire, all guns start from low ready. So I've actually had two people come up to me that have center fire pistols that have shot the match, that were pleased that I was doing that, because they were concerned about drawing the gun. Like, they weren't quite ready to start drawing their gun, but being able to start from the
Yeah,
low ready, that goes out the window. So that's been a lot of fun, and because of that fun, I am making a very concerted effort to make Rimfire Worlds this year. Um,
yeah, that'd be a lot of fun.
there was I don't think I saw anything but great posts about last year's match.
Yeah, it
Uh,
was a great time.
and so I'm looking forward to doing that. So what day you coming down to the match, Steve?
Probably Friday night after work.
Rolling in Friday. So, for
Woo!
those of you that, want to get a look at the owner of Creekside Custom, and one of my best friends, he'll be on the range Saturday and Sunday. Please talk to him while he's about ready to shoot. He doesn't mind.
I really don't. Especially if you want to talk about some grips, magwells, and new base pads that are coming out. I'd love to talk to you.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's
uh,
beautiful. I one of my good friends who trained with me this week, and one of my ROs at the match, David Borman, looked at
yeah,
me, and he's got a set of the grips on his Mark IV, and he
yeah,
goes, "How doesn't everybody have these?" I said,
yeah,
"They just haven't figured it out yet. They
yeah.
are a game changer." Um, not to mention the fact that you've got the I would say medium aggressive
Yeah.
grips. I would call the medium aggressive. I was kind of, okay, there's a magwell, I'll put it on. It makes a difference. It, I'm happy to admit that well, I love it so much I bought another one to put it on my other Scorpion. So that's how much it'll tell you how I loved them. I bought one for my backup gun that I rarely shoot. But when I do pick it up, it's going to feel exactly the same as my primary.
Yep. Yep. No, I appreciate it. It's been I've learned a lot through the manufacturing and finishing process. The 2245 base pads are on the machine right now. It's probably going to be 2 to 3 weeks more, just because ran into a little issue with finishing, and it's tough to find people to help out a small company like myself, and so struck up a new relationship with somebody, um, and I'm going to send the parts there to get anodized, and yeah, couple week lead time, but we'll have some here
Well,
hopefully in about 3 weeks.
I heard a rumor that you're so meticulous about those grips that they come un textured, and that you actually hand filed each one of them. Is that true?
No, I'm not retired yet, Jeff. I wish I could. But no, it's people, maybe people don't understand, some people that are manufacturing quality, and every single grip and magwell is tested for fit and finish on a frame. Every single one. So it's not one of those situations where you're going to get one and go, oh, something's off or something's wrong or anything like that. And I've sold quite a few, and thank you to everybody that has supported me through this initiative. It allows me to help give back to the sport, and haven't had, it's like the no hitter don't talk about. I haven't had a single person reach back out because they had an issue with them. So a lot of it's a lot of work on the front end to make sure it's done and it's done right. Make sure the design's right. It works with all the base pads out there, the popular base pads, that the people buy, and I'm making a little bit just extended one, and it's going to be the same what you would come to expect from a quality fit and finish. So they're not inexpensive, but they're a good value for what they are. And man, I'm super excited, super excited about it. And
That's
then we're gonna move on
fantastic,
to the
man.
next one, the next project.
I can't wait. I can't wait. It's like, I just sit here and I go, what is Steve going to come up with next? And how much money do I have to spend on it?
I hear you. I hear you.
Well, that's great. Well, listen, this has been fun. We've actually talked about a lot of different things here, but you know, what would you share with everybody about just give them a general thing about Steel Challenge? Like if there was somebody new coming to the sport, what would you say to a new challenge? Because I know what I say to people, and I'll share that. But when you've got somebody new coming to you, and so this can help our listeners that are listening, and they get somebody who says, gee, I've never shot this before. What can you tell me about it? What would you share?
I would share is don't be intimidated by it. Find somebody, reach out to somebody out on one of the Facebook groups or your local range, and go shoot a match. You don't need to necessarily bring anything. There's a lot of folks similar to us that hey, if you want to meet up and go to a match and see what you're in for, just to warn you, there's a little asterisk. You're gonna end up buying a gun, and then you're gonna come see me and get a custom paint job and grips and magwells and stuff like that. But reach out because it's a great community and it's a lot of fun and it's a great. I would call it a great introduction to competitive shooting. And no, it's a great time. That's what I would encourage people to do. Don't let don't let your fear of not knowing or embarrassing yourself or anything like that. There's a lot of people that have been doing this a while that will bring you under their wing and make sure that number one, that you're safe, and then number two, you have a good time.
You know what I tell people? Basically the same thing, but I word it like this. Steel Challenge shooters are so engrossed in their own time that they don't care how fast or slow you shoot. As long as you're safe, as long as you have fun, and as long as you paint. I said they will remember you more if you don't paint and help out during a match than if you just sit there and shoot and go back and sit on your butt.
Yep.
So I do, it's a similar sentiment. Get out there, have fun. I have had at least 3 instances of wives or children coming to the match to watch their husband or parents shoot. And my first question once I get them all together is, why aren't they shooting?
Right.
Oh, they're nervous. They're nervous. And I give them that speech. And I give them that speech and I talk to them every time and I say the same thing. Why aren't you shooting? We're all having fun. You're here. Why not shoot a gun? You know? And then
Exactly.
you've got them a little bit hooked when they go, well, what should I shoot? I said, I recommend a rimfire rifle optic. I said, it's the most forgiving platform. I don't like calling it the easiest because, again, the time, to get very good at it, you've got to be a very good shooter, as witnessed by the times that are putting down by some of the world champions. But you can have the most fun with that because you're going to ring steel. And you may not be the fastest, but you know what? I bet you if you stick with it, you're going to get faster and faster and faster. And,
Oh yeah.
I have one of my students, he's like, well, how long till I can, be a GM? I said, it's up to you.
Yep.
It's not going
For
to,
sure.
it's not magic. You don't become a GM overnight. At least not when you're a new shooter starting with the game. You might be able to, once you're a GM in another division, you may be able to apply that to, your first gun shooting in a different division, and you might be able to hit GM. But when it comes to a new shooter, there's time and effort, and spend the time learning your tendencies, learning, watching other people. I don't know how many times I've watched people and I go, why are they doing that? And I'm like, I'm going to try that the next time I'm at the range just to see what it does. don't get stuck in your ways and have fun. I shoot, we just finished the USPSA state match last week, had a blast running shooters, shooting the match, had a lot of fun. And I love shooting USPSA. There's just that different vibe at a Steel Challenge match. It's
Yep,
not right.
for
It's
sure.
not wrong. It's not better. It's not worse. It's just it's very different. And, the one thing that I always remember, I've seen you do it. I've done it. I've been a benefactor of it, is you have a gun go down. And the next thing you know, you've got half your squad going, I got one in the car. I got ammo. I got Matt. We can keep you in this match. We can do whatever. We'll do whatever you can to keep you in this match.
Yep.
And that to me is, even if the competitor is competing against you, they're willing to do that for you.
For sure.
Pretty cool. So, all right, good stuff.
All
Good
right, man.
stuff, Steve.
Yeah, it was good talking with you. And go out
absolutely.
and sign up. Sign up.
I appreciate. Yes, definitely. Get signed up. Get in that first match. Go to a local. Talk to the match director. Talk to people you know. Just have fun. Don't set any expectations, and just ring some steel and realize what we've all realized, that this is an amazing sport, an amazing community, and just a lot of fun. So thanks, Steve.
Hey, it was good talking with you, Jeff. Have a good night.
No, you're not. You're not off. You're not quite off the hook yet.
Must we do this every time?
Every time.
Go to
We're not
ragestore.net.
contractually obligated.
Go to ragestore.net. ST Podcast 10, Jeff. They know.
All right, buddy. Thank you.
All right, we'll see you.
All right,
take care. All right, bye.